there was a time when I was too successful as a marketer, which is like, how many times do you get those in your career, right? I was generating hundreds of leads every single week. And it was so good that my sales department just couldn't keep up. I was working for a college. We were growing enrollment, and it was crazy how many leads I was able to generate. It was the time when Facebook was like, the leads were just so cheap if you were plugging into Facebook ads early on in 2016, 2017, and it was a major problem. If you generate too many leads too fast and you can't get with those leads on the phone, call them up, follow up, as good as the automated email sequences I had were, it still wasn't enough to convert all those leads. I wish we had the level of AI that we have today back then, because I would have been able to not just 3x the enrollment of that university, I would have been able to 10x it with the amount of leads that I was getting and couldn't follow up with. It'd be like weeks later. And that's why I'm excited to have this conversation today. Today, I'm excited to announce where I'm having an interview with Fer Patel, who is the director of special projects at HighLevel, but you're also like the AI guy within HighLevel, because we're going to be talking about conversational marketing, or at least the features that HighLevel has that has conversational marketing in it. And I'm excited because like the problems that I used to have with not being able to follow up with leads, not being able to give them a number to call where they can actually find a human that answers questions and book meetings, those days are gone. And it's changing the game. I am so excited to be having it. Thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited to be here. Excited to share more about what AI and what we can do at HighLevel to solve those pain points that you brought up.
Man, and they are pain points for lots of businesses, all kinds of businesses all over the place. In fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine who's a chiropractor, and he's like dying because like he wants to answer the phone. People call in. They don't want to, not all of them want to book online. They call in, it's missed call. Why? Because he's cracking some backs, man. He can't be answering the phone call while he's like adjusting, cracking someone's neck, man. It's like you can't be doing multitasking that stuff. So, but beyond local businesses, I know it's a big deal for all kinds of businesses out there. So before we get into the conversational AI, I'd love to know a little bit more about your background. Like before you were into HighLevel, like what were you doing, and then what led you getting into using this software?
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting story. I'll have a short version of it. So I was in the fintech space, financial technology space, and I did a lifestyle pivot and moved into the marketing world about 6, 7, 8 years ago, I believe. And when I got into the marketing world, I was using various marketing platforms, a funnel builder platform, a email platform, then Zapier and Google Sheets and chatbot platform. So I must have had about 6 to 9 different platforms in my arsenal or my toolkit at any point of time for my clients. And as you know, if you're using Zapier and other solutions to kind of glue it together, you're hoping, it works great, but when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
everything breaks down at the same
Yeah.
time. And then you got to figure out where the problem is. So a lot of automation issues. I'm paying 6 to 9 different invoices every single month. You got to maintain all of them. You hit different limits for every single platform. So there's various issues you have to deal with. And this is at the same time HighLevel came out, launched in its infancy stage during that time. And I saw it the first time. I'm like, okay, another marketing platform. Great. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
time to learn another marketing platform. It's a conundrum. Do you take a stop now and focus on something to make it accelerate you, or no time, and just focus on what you're doing? So I ran into that same issue, no time. I kicked it down the road about 2, 3 months. And then at that point, like, all right, I got access to the account. I started playing with it. I got into it. I saw the value in it right away. I'm like, one platform that can consolidate my 6 to 9 various tools within one that can automate everything in one centralized area. I just have to log into one platform every single day. It was a game changer. And I was one of the early adopters. I would guess sub 5,000 in the Facebook group, but one of the early adopters in the community. And I've never looked back ever since. I've been in the HighLevel space ever since then, as a agency owner and as a user before becoming part of HighLevel. So this is where my journey began as an agency owner. I then provided aftermarket tools for other agency owners, how to customize their dashboards, how to improve the user experience. So if you want to call it hacks, how to just create a better user experience while HighLevel was building out new feature sets. I was creating add-ons around it in my own way providing aftermarket tools. So I had the opportunity to interface with probably thousands of early adopter agencies in
Yeah.
the ecosystem over the year.
Remember my journey really started with Infusionsoft. I mean, before that was MailChimp, and a lot of us were using MailChimps and starting to integrate the API. Even like I was doing this in like 2010 and even integrating MailChimp into text message marketing. So people could text into a short code and then it would kick into the email system and have a drip sequence. This was really advanced for like 2010.
Yeah.
But then I heard Infusionsoft build this journey builder, and it was beautiful. And Infusionsoft was like a small business software. I used it for college and built the whole college admissions process on it. Hence, like we were crushing it with Facebook ads. They were going into Infusionsoft, and they didn't do phone calls and text messaging back then. You had to get a separate thing called Fix Your Funnel, really robust add-on for Infusionsoft. But man, I had that thing humming to the point where other colleges were like, "What are you freaking doing?" And I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, we're using this thing called Infusions. It's Facebook ads mostly and Google ads. We're sending them to landing pages and it's Infusionsoft. And then I'd open up the campaign, you'd see the little drag and drop builder and all the different campaigns we'd be running. And they'd look at me with bright, big eyes and be like, how much? I'm like, what do you mean, how much? I'm showing you how to do it. And they're like, no, do it for us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have time to duplicate this. That's why when I first discovered HighLevel, because of the big difference, it was like, I'm like, oh, it's Infusionsoft with Fix Your Funnel baked in because it could do the phone call texting thing, except you can duplicate the whole thing over to another sub account
With
and have
snapshots.
unlimited sub accounts. I was like, mind blown. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have had this. I would have made so much money with all those colleges coming to me. I would be like, oh yeah, I could resell that. I could just duplicate the whole thing over for you
Yeah,
for X amount a month. I'm like,
it's
oh
funny
my
they mentioned
gosh.
that. Snapshots is
Yeah.
one of the things that if you were an agency owner running multiple clients within the same niche, it's the snapshot feature is what really pulled me in because I was
Yeah.
onboarding, for example, a real estate client.
Yeah.
And they have tons of emails and the drip sequences. Then you gotta pipe, what type of client are there? Are they? You gotta really work it through. And then once you get it locked down, then you onboard a new real estate client. Rinse, repeat. It takes about 10 hours of onboarding, copying and pasting. It was a nightmare. The snapshots, 20 minutes, change some custom values in your live. Now you just gotta focus on double down on that niche. It's easy. You
Yeah.
have it, get one working perfectly the way you want it, and then maybe make some quick little edits, but it's no longer a tedious onboarding task. And that was one of the things that drew me into HighLevel when I came on board.
And that's why it's such a great tool for agencies, but even consultants and freelancers. Like we're all making recommendations on how to best build the funnel, and we have our preferred way of doing it. But I'm like, it's so dirt cheap. I remember I was paying more for an Infusionsoft. I was probably Infusionsoft and Fix Your Funnel together, probably $1,200 a month, and
Okay.
that was at a nonprofit license like discount. So it was
Okay.
probably like $2,500 worth. Like for for HighLevel at like $300 a month, or if you're doing the SaaS one, the $500 a month, it's like stupid cheap. I'm like, my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's it from just a software perspective. But now it does a lot. It does. There's so many tools in here, but a big part of it, of course, is AI being infused into it. Before we get into the AI features, like, were you using AI before you started working at HighLevel? Was that like a normal part of your workflow?
It wasn't actually. I wasn't really using AI in terms of my day to day, except for the obviously ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and that's a standard now. It's just what we all know as when you think of AI, you think of ChatGPT because they're the
Yeah.
ones that came first to market, and they're the early ones. Now you have numerous other players out there, many other alternatives. Now I use a mix of different tools, or it depends on my use case. If it's more content heavy, I'll use this tool. If it's more coding heavy, I'll use another tool.
Yeah.
So depending on the use case, but I wasn't using AI per se much in terms of a business utility before I joined HighLevel. But this is at the same time I joined HighLevel was when they were launching the voice AI product. So it was launching it at Level Up in October 2024. I joined HighLevel literally a week before they already launched it. So I came
Yeah.
in when it's already being launched. So I
Yeah.
had nothing to do with the initial inception of the product and go to market. So this is where I joined on the AI product. And it's the background I bring is being from the agency side. understanding the user experience, understanding all the pain points as an agency, the ups and downs, getting the clients and losing the clients, and all the churn. So this is where I come in, and what a lot of times I talk when I'm talking to the team internally, I tell them my role is to be the voice of the agency owners. I know, I don't represent all of them, but I have a good idea of what agency owners want and what they're going to like and not like. So this is where when we're rolling out products in the AI space, when a lot of times the team will be building, they're focusing, they're working on the features, they're rolling it out. But then my question is like, okay, how is the agency owner actually going to use it? It's a great feature, but how are they going to use it? What is
Yep.
their experience going to be like? How are they going to adopt it? And then once they adopt it, how are they going to leverage this tool to generate more revenue for their agency? A tool is great, but the whole idea of HighLevel is we're giving you a lot of different resources and tools to empower you to make more money. You have a one shop, all in one CRM, you have AI, but we want you to use these tools for your own agency. That's a given, but we want you to resell these tools for your clients so they can benefit from the same solutions that you're benefiting from as well.
And the one thing I want to specify is that it's a fantastic tool for agencies, but individuals can come and use this tool as well at the $97 a month plan. But even at the $97, you get access to 3 sub accounts. So you could like run 2 businesses out of it and still have one for your friend or a client.
Well, it's kind of the idea. Like, I think the way the team envisioned it is you get 3 accounts. One account is for you and your lead generation for your usage.
Yeah.
And the other 2 is for you to onboard your first 1 or 2 clients. And hopefully, if you onboard a single client, you break even. Then you onboard a second client, you're in profit.
Yeah.
So therefore, the first 2 clients pay off your main expense of HighLevel. And now your goal is to grow and get more and more clients. And the software becomes a source of revenue generation. It's not an expense center for you.
Yeah. And while a lot of agencies love it because you can kind of perfect one account for a specific industry and then just duplicate that over and over again, because like if you're doing it for like a chiropractor like my friend, like it's kind of the same sequences over and over again because most chiropractors have the same business model. So you can duplicate it over and over again. But
Agreed.
even for an individual, all the tools are there that you would ever want, like from Calendly, funnels, automation, texting, phone calls, and they're not even like lightweight. They're like robust. Like I go back into HubSpot sometimes. I'm like, it can't do X. It can't do all these things. It even does the more advanced things that HubSpot does, like you build custom objects in there. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like some sophisticated stuff. The fact that you can build in your own custom objects, and if you're not familiar with that is, don't worry. It's an advanced CRM feature. You can build your own databases in there of information, but it can do all these things. But it's really individual for. It's really good for almost any small to mid-sized business. Like I can't like HubSpot's so expensive now that I can't imagine anybody using HubSpot until they're making like at least 10 million in
Okay,
revenue.
wow.
I'm like, I don't know who would benefit from it unless maybe you're like heavy enterprise B2B sales from the get. Maybe.
Yeah, I've used it in the past when I had my own startup. And the reason I was able to get into HubSpot as an early user is you get a startup discount at 90% off the first year.
Yeah.
And I think it's 50% off the second year. And then by the third year, you're paying full rack rate. At that point, we canceled out because we couldn't afford it anymore.
Yep.
It was just wait. Because then we kind of grew into all the different little add ons.
Yep.
So we were paying a couple of $100 a month. Then all of a sudden, by year 3, it's skyrocketing up to thousands of dollars a month now. Like we did not see the justification of paying that much money for a CRM application where we can easily find alternatives at a lower cost that can do equal or greater at that point.
One of the exciting things that I love about HighLevel is this really robust conversational marketing suite. And that's where I want to spend the rest of the time. So tell me, like, give me an overview of like what HighLevel's conversational marketing tools are like. Like, how many channels are there? Without AI, we'll go into the AI of them all because that's really where they're starting to shine is the AI part. But like, what are the different channels it has for conversational marketing?
So conversationally, a lot of people when they come on board, the fundamental obviously is email. Everyone does email, and then SMS. Those are your 2 core. I think SMS HighLevel really scaled SMS solution, as an offering across all marketing agencies. Because before, to get SMS wasn't a singular solution. You would have to go to a third party
Yeah.
dedicated just for SMS. Then you would have to use a solution just for email. Like, I don't remember ever using SMS until coming out to HighLevel, because I didn't want to buy a third party solution just for SMS alone. So now you have your core email, SMS, and that's what everyone started out of the gate using HighLevel. Those are your two options. Now you also have Facebook Messenger integrated within HighLevel. You have Instagram Messenger integrated within HighLevel. We also have WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is one of those things I find quite interesting. It's not really adopted much in the US, WhatsApp as a whole.
I
Um,
know. It's super international, but Americans don't use it. I have to explain this to my Canadian and UK friends all the time.
yeah,
Like, we
so I'm
don't use
surprised.
WhatsApp here.
I use WhatsApp, but at the same time, I'm in Canada. I use WhatsApp all the time,
Yeah.
and the reason I use WhatsApp all the time is because I'm communicating with people outside of Canada.
Yeah.
Family in UK, people in India, people in different parts of the world. WhatsApp is the way to communicate over Messenger. It's simple. If I need to make a call, it's free. So there's no issues over there. So I've been using WhatsApp for many years, but at the same time, I communicate with people in the US. Like, I had an account. I don't use it because
Yeah.
they don't have a purpose for it. So WhatsApp is a massive tool outside of North America because a lot of them don't use SMS. SMS have heavy costs in a lot of those regions, whereas WhatsApp, no costs, right? Or unless you pay $1. I mean, I don't even know what I think they removed that $1
It used to
yearly
be
license.
$4 a year. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is now.
So we have WhatsApp, we have SMS, email, Facebook, um, Instagram. Those are your core. Plus, we have live chat widgets you can put on your website. So there's a lot of different ways of bringing people into your world. But if you want to extend the concept of communication, it's like the whole either idea of capture. How are we capturing people coming into our world? And we can extend it out with our forms, our surveys, because the main starting point is, how do we get leads into the engine? How do we get leads into HighLevel? The whole capturing process. What are all the different ways it can come into our world? Oh, and the other thing as well, by extension with that, is if someone calls the phone number, that's
Yeah.
another way of bringing them into your ecosystem. They all become contacts. Once you build up a whole contact base based on the communication channels, now you have multiple ways of engaging them or nurturing them. So we want to keep nurturing them because we're not in the business of just capturing contacts for the sake of capturing contacts. We want to capture them to have a conversion event. What is that conversion event? Either they get them to make an appointment, get them to make a purchase, get them to opt into a webinar. What is that one conversion event? It all depends on the use cases. And you mentioned they can do so many different things with HighLevel. The way we talk about sometimes is HighLevel is like a marketing operating system. You can do whatever you want
Yes.
with it. You have so much choice. You can go any different direction you want with it. It's really up to you. So you can keep it as simple as possible, or you can make it as complex as possible. It's all up to you. And that's why sometimes a lot of people prefer snapshots, because someone's already taking that thought process away from them. Here's a snapshot I'm going to start with. So I have my emails templates, I have my SMS templates, I already have the content that works for them. I have my landing page with a form. That's all I need. I throw that up, and then start driving traffic to that page and get the whole process going.
And it's funny, like, complexity is really the enemy. It's trying to keep it simple, which can be hard because if you learn all the tools instantly, you want to start making it complex. And really, it's like part of the learning journey is like, first you know nothing and you're struggling, then you learn a lot and it becomes too complex, and then you become a master. And usually by that time, your campaigns are really simple, your landing pages are really simple. It's
Well,
like
we've seen
that's how it
cases
goes.
where people are they're trying to find the optimal SMS message. What's a
Yeah.
perfect message? And they're just struggling to get it. Then you have those who have been doing it for a while. Some people in the space. We have someone named Rob Bailey, who's an early adopter of HighLevel, and he's coined the whole database reactivation campaigns. And he just shared with us, what are you writing your text messages? He's like, it's literally a line and a half.
Yeah.
Hey, we got this offer. Are you interested? Yes or no? And that's it. And then if they respond yes, then the whole process begins.
Yeah.
But we make a whole people in general. People want to put as much information as possible in that first text message, and people look at it, oh, it's too much. They don't know how to respond back with a yes or no. It becomes complicated.
There's something I want to say to the audience, and it's because we're talking about AI so much. I rarely ever talk about the other marketing channels, but I could do whole shows on every like most of the marketing channels. There is a complete overemphasis on email when it comes to marketing. And if you're listening to this now, chances are you found me probably through like Social Media Examiner or LinkedIn. You probably come in maybe more from a B2B space where the huge emphasis is on email. And I'm just telling you, the biggest opportunity is not in email, it's in text messaging. Like everybody pays attention to it. There's hardly a filter there. And when I grew the university, it was pretty much on the back of text messaging. Now that's a student audience. So like, of course, they're not even in the realm of like, if once you're in the office space, you're more into email. But outside of that, text messaging is the thing. And if you're international, then what was it? That social app is the
WhatsApp.
primary thing. WhatsApp is the thing. But text messaging is like is not utilized hardly enough by marketers. And HighLevel, I was kind of like one of the first big things that it doubled down on. Before I even Infusionsoft didn't do texting at all. You had to go use Fix Your Funnel, and Fix Your Funnel was early in being able to do the thing where you can automate the blasts that go out, and at any time you could take over, so it became conversational. Your actual sales reps, as soon as they replied to the automated thing that went out after they became a lead, they could take over the conversation, which was just freaking magic at the time because no software did it. Fix Your Funnel was one of the first to actually make it reasonably priced to actually have your call center actually chat with people via text. HighLevel came in and did the same thing, but it was actually baked into the system. Unlike Infusionsoft, it was a third party. HighLevel is like all in one. You could
Yeah,
actually do that kind of work. But now
it's
it's even more exciting because now you don't even have to have your call reps be there to answer anymore. Because that was the problem I had is I had all that sophistication in the software where like people would fill out a form and then it would send them a text message 15 minutes later being like, "Hey, saw that you just asked for information. What was exciting about it?" Just to kick off the conversation, and they respond and then they wouldn't hear back for a while because maybe they were staying up late and it was like 11 p.m. and couldn't man the phones that long. It's hard to man all the weird hours. Hard to have people over the weekend. It's a lot of hours you have to put. It's 168 or how many hours we have in a week? It's 162, something like that. That's a lot of hours to man, especially if you're working 40-hour work weeks. But now that's not a problem because AI can answer it, which is what I
yeah.
want to get into next. So
So
how
it's,
is HighLevel incorporating AI into this stuff?
let me just add on to that one last point here. That's a great example you just brought up that you just reminded me because I used to work with an agency in the car dealership space, and they needed help automating all the different inbound channels through all the different lead capture sources. So cars.com, Edmunds, and a few, 9, 10 others. Because emails come in, it just sits there, no one responds back because they're sitting in someone's email inbox. So we turned every email, converted it into an SMS message outbound. We pulled it in, then send an SMS to the client saying, "Hey, we got your inquiry, your interest. Tell me more. We want to just warm up the lead." Now the issue is they responded back, and now the sales rep is busy. He's doing a demo. He's out. Takes 2-3 hours. Maybe someone respond back. So then we came into that same situation where someone got them to engage, and then nothing happened, and they
Yeah.
moved on. So now with AI, this is where the beauty is. So if
Yeah.
we want to take a step back over here, so look at that situation here. We initially send an outbound message to engage the client, and we just need them to respond back. Once they respond back, the AI solution, conversation AI, will take over because based on the prompt that you set up, based on the agent you set up, and the whole goal is okay, let's get you in for a test drive, for
Yeah.
example. That is the core focus. Someone responds back, like, "Hey, I'm interested in this car." Perfect. Okay, what color are you looking for? What is this? You have a trade in? When are you looking to change? Just you ask your pre-qualifying questions. No problem. Are you interested in setting up an appointment for a test drive? Because that's the goal. That's the focus of the objective of the bot. Yes. When would you like to book it? This week or next week? Well, this week is good. Okay, perfect. Morning or afternoon? Oh, morning. All right, I got availabilities on this day, this day, this day. Which day works best for you? The person will select it. Perfect. Okay, it's booked. Looking forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to this number. And the AI did the whole process without the salesperson intervening to ask the exact same questions. They'll come in, they'll meet with a salesperson because now that's where the human touch comes in for the conversion. But that whole process of booking the appointment, the conversation AI part or the chat bot took over and handled it perfectly because that is exactly what it's set up to do. This is where we would normally lose leads because we forgot about them. It came in after hours. We lost them. They're no longer interested. And if you're a aggressive buyer, you're putting posts out. It happened to me. I was buying a car. I messaged three different companies at the same time. The
It's the
first
person
person
who
that
calls back
responded back
first.
to me, they got
It's
back to
huge.
me and said, when do you want to come in? Can I come in today or tomorrow?" They go, tomorrow. Today's perfect. I'm on my way. And I literally bought the car within 6 hour
Yeah.
window from
Yeah.
inquiry because it made sense. Obviously all the other conditions made sense, but the first one that responded back to me and it worked within what I was looking for, I sealed the deal right away. And the other two called me back. I think one call, it was on a Thursday. One called me back on a Monday. The other one called me back Wednesday after. Like, sorry, I already bought a car. It's too late. You lost your chance. So this is the
I it's
beauty of where all the AI tools, if you leverage it well, just and it's not even complicated. Just set it up. If the whole core purpose of that, in this case here, is to book a test drive, which is technically book an appointment.
so many things. I just had the same thing happen. I was calling about a bunch of local businesses and I was just going through the list. I was opening up Google Maps, started making phone calls. Actually, I wasn't buying something, I was selling something, but it's something they all wanted. I was liquidating some silver because the price of silver went up high right now. I was like, oh, I got a little stash. I got a box of silver, junk silver coins. So I just started calling all the coin shops. The guy who called me back first was the guy I ended up selling all the stuff to. He got everything. Other people called me back, or some people didn't even, never answer the phone, never call back. I'm like, no. The guy who was the most responsive to me and started texting me, he got the deal.
Yep.
He won. So it's a big deal. Like we've all heard the stat of like, like I forgot what the conversion rate is, but there's like a massive advantage to if you can call someone back within 5 minutes. And
Yep.
we've all experienced it when we get called back within like, especially within 10 minutes of filling out a form. It
Yep.
almost feels like magic because it happens so seldomly, right? Someone gets you and be like, hey, I just saw that you were looking on the website and you were asking for information. You're like, oh, I was. When it's
Ready
within
to
15
go.
minutes, guess what? You have it fresh in your mind. You have
Yep.
not forgotten. Because I don't know, I've worked the phones before and it is kind of embarrassing when you're calling back like weeks later and they're like, who is this again? Nah, I don't think I gave you my information. You know they did, but they don't
Yeah.
even remember. It's embarrassing.
I've experienced that with local service businesses.
Yeah.
I was calling people for roofing related and called them, left a voicemail, then I emailed them. And I'm like, what's the point of sending emails? They never respond back to emails. They rarely call back unless they're that busy and they don't need any more business. Someone is dropping the ball significantly, and all they need to do is put an automation in there. Because all I want to do is just get me a quote or get me an appointment. I don't want to talk to anyone specifically in general. I just want to know, answer my question. Can you do this? Yes or no? How much will it cost? And if it works, I'm booking it. That's all I wanted. But I'm always amazed by you go to a website, fill out a form, and no one responds back to you. Well, what was the point of that form? So for anyone listening, any client who has a form that you fill out and they don't respond back, they're clients you
It's an
can go
opportunity.
after to convert them to AI. They're one of the perfect clients you can go after. They're not responsive. It's a gap.
So let's break this down as far as to what this actually looks like right now. How many channels can you implement this like AI answering questions, booking meetings kind of thing through this AI agent?
So the number one way people use it is live chat. On the live chat widget, you put on your website.
Yep.
So clients
Yep.
come to your website and they can interact and they can go through the regular process.
Yep.
That's a standard process. Then you can take it offline and you can do it through SMS. So
Someone texts in. Yep.
someone texts in, you text a number, hey, I just saw you called, or you're interested in this, you opted in, you SMS, are you interested in booking an appointment? Yeah. And now the AI takes over the whole SMS communication.
That'd be huge. Even if you're speaking from stage, imagine because a lot of speakers do that, right? Or scan this code. Sometimes they do it right there. Sometimes it could be like text this number, text this word to this number. All of a sudden, you can have an AI agent working the whole crowd while you're still speaking.
100%. Yeah. SMS, live chat. You also have Facebook Messenger. So some people are communicating with you through Facebook DMs online, or through messengers there. AI will take over. Instagram, AI will take over as well. We have as well, and WhatsApp. So WhatsApp recently, in the last couple of months, now WhatsApp is also part of your AI toolkit for communication channels. So now, like, the only one we're not doing yet is email. Email is a little more. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those, we can do it, but we haven't done it yet. You can do it through our workflows. You can figure it out yourself. But the reason with emails is it's a little more convoluted to create a better response. And this is more for quick conversational. Email's not conversational per se. It's the structured communication back. Whereas WhatsApp, one or two lines. What are you looking for? You want to book an appointment? What is it? It's very conversion focused, right?
So Instagram's the one social channel. Are there other social channels that are coming on the line? Like, are you ever at LinkedIn?
We are exploring LinkedIn still. We're
LinkedIn's
just
one of those weird ones because I think it's against terms of service when it comes to LinkedIn. But
LinkedIn's a little more
yet
complicated.
everybody does it, and LinkedIn
Everyone has
just
their
doesn't do
own
anything about it.
everyone has their own hacks around it
Yeah,
until they get
yeah.
shut down, then they switch it up. So we're trying to go through the official route with
Uh-huh.
LinkedIn through the API teams and all that. So it's just been a long
Yep.
communication journey.
Yeah. That'll be exciting because I mean, there's I don't know, there's considerate ways to automate these things and there's inconsiderate ways. Like I would never want an AI pretending to be me and me faking it. Like it's like, hey, Dan here. I'm like, no. It's gonna be, hey, this is Dan's AI assistant. Thanks for reaching out. I can book something with you and Dan. But is there any questions I can answer first before I connect you with Dan? Like that's just considerate. It's just giving them a way to get their questions answered and get the thing that they want, but without pretending to be me,
So
which is how I'd be implementing it on something like social.
yeah, so it varies. Some people, depends if they lock down their AI perfectly and it works out well for them on Facebook, Instagram, and even SMS. They don't even tell people that it's an AI. They just handle it themselves because they're not going to find out generally unless the AI goes off completely, right? But in the most part, it works. However, so that one is just like you depends what your perception is, how you want to go about doing it. It's up to
Yeah.
you in terms of preference. Whereas voice AI, it's one of those that I advise people let everyone know that's a voice AI assistant because no one wants to be made feel as if they were fooled on this call because you're at 1 minute into the call, everything sounds great, and all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this sounds like an AI. Then you feel foolish as if you thought you were talking to a human. Now you feel a little bit foolish and you kind of feel frustrated. Whereas chat, it doesn't come across. You can get away with it on chat, but voice AI to a certain point, you can get away with it, but at a point if people feel they're being deceived, they're not going to be happy about the experience. So initially I would always say, hey, thanks for calling, I'm Alex, this person's voice AI assistant, or I'm a voice AI, or I'm an AI. I'm here to help you answer your questions. Just massage it in. People don't mind. And from experience from the voice product itself, is people don't mind talking to a voice AI when you're calling to get things resolved for you, right? We've seen great adoption on the inbound side. If I'm calling, it's an AI that answers and it's able to answer my questions and take and achieve the goal I want. Hey, I want to book an appointment and it does it for me. I'm happy. I don't have to talk to someone. I don't have to waste any time. I achieved my goal. What people hate and do not want is an AI agent calling you to sell you something,
Yeah. Nobody wants this.
right?
Yeah.
People, there's a large demand in the community as a whole. Everyone's like, oh, I want outbound AI. I want to be able to call. I want to do cold calling. But then we ask them, we take pause. Great. Sounds great in theory, sales side. Take a step back and put yourself in the client's shoes. Now you're getting that AI phone call. Do you want an AI bot calling you anytime trying to pitch you on a product? Like, no, I don't. Like, no,
Don't
right?
do it.
It's
Yeah.
just like, don't do it. It's not a good. So this is where we've been slowly, we haven't walked into the whole outbound side. We see other people are doing it. We're taking our time on this one here, and it has to fit specific use cases. And our goal is to be very much conversion focused outbound. So even conversion focused outbound, what I mean by that is someone is calling to remind you about your appointment, and hey, you have an appointment coming up. Do you have any questions I can answer for you? Like, oh yeah, am I supposed to fast before or not? Great question. This is what you need to do. Here, I'm going to send you an SMS with all the details. That is solving a pain point. People don't mind that. Or hey, just let you know we have a webinar coming up at 3 p.m. It'd be great if you're there 10 minutes early because of XYZ. If you have any questions, you make sure you got the link. If you don't have the link, let me know. I'll send the link right now. Again, you're solving a problem, conversion focus. You're giving a warm touch. Someone already knows the relationship. Whereas if you do a cold outreach AI call,
They've never heard of
people
you.
hate it.
Ouch.
If I get a call and
Yeah.
and it initially sounds like someone's talking to me, I try to talk to them. Then all of a sudden I feel like, wait, this is AI. I hang up. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna hang up.
Yep.
That's just a
You're gonna hang
natural
up on humans. They're gonna be even faster to hang up on your AI.
100%. This is where, from the high low perspective, we tread very carefully on outbound because regulations, compliance,
Yeah.
there's laws coming into effect. People are getting fined quite a bit.
Yeah.
We see other players in the market. People tell me, well, they have it, they have it. I'm like, yeah, they also get fined and fined and fined. You don't hear
Mhm.
about that, but we hear about these communications.
Yeah.
So outbound will come about in the near future for us, but very specific use cases in a very
Like
compliant way.
workflow triggered outbound to where they're already in the workflow. I guess you could still hack that to just feed it a cold list and it would start outbounding people, but
Yeah, we have
there's got to
ways.
be a way to do it.
We have
Yeah.
ways of mitigating it. We have processes in place. We're just focusing on the inbound experience, making that stellar, improving that. Then outbound is just going to be a switch for us.
Yeah. I'm excited because I've seen you. You even have like a grayed out button of like you have it set for inbound, but I'm like, there's a grayed out button for like outbound. I'm like, ooh, it's coming. And that the kind of situations you're talking about are the ones I want to use. Like someone fills out a form and then you follow up with the phone call that asks, hey, I got this is what's coming up. You filled out this thing. You're getting the X. I just want to check to see if you had any questions. If not, then we can part ways.
Or
Simple things like
perfect.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect example. Someone opts into a Facebook form.
Yeah.
You run a campaign. If you're interested, let me know. Then now you want to do that warm touch. Call them. Hey, I received your inquiry about you're interested in buying a house. I'm so and so's personal AI assistant. I just have a few quick questions to make sure I get you the right information that you need. You're like, sure, no problem. Because I'm
Yep.
interested in buying a
Yeah.
house. I did reach out to you, and now you're reaching out to me to ask me some qualifying questions to get me what I need. I don't mind. But getting an AI caller, are you interested in selling your house? Like, who's talking to
Ugh.
me? Like, no.
If you want to see what this voice sounds like, and they just recently dropped some new voices that are much better. Like it's getting better all the time, but the new voices are sounding really good now. I set up an example for this morning for all everybody listening. If you want to see an example of what this sounds like, and you want to book some time with me to talk about how I'm using HighLevel, that's what this phone call, I don't know, AI voice agents trained to do. It's trained to book meetings with me to talk about HighLevel with you and just answer questions about HighLevel. I actually did a ChatGPT deep research to find and scrape the internet for the most frequently asked questions about HighLevel. I went and put it into the FAQ section of the voice agent so it has the most frequently asked questions. You might ask it something that it doesn't know, and then I'll see the call script, and then I'll be able to upload that into it. But if you want to test it out, 615-610-0721 is the phone number. And go and chat with it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how fluid it is, how good it is. It's not perfect. It still messes up. But HighLevel just released this less than a year ago, and it's already gone through multiple iterations of improvement, which for those who aren't in HighLevel already, like this is kind of like HighLevel's MO. Like they tend to release things rough and then let the community give feedback and then they improve it quickly. Usually it's like they launch 3 months later, there's like the fixes, and then another 3 months go by, and then there's the 2.0 version. It's kind of like HighLevel's rhythm, not always on that timeline, but generally that's how they go. They launch a whole new thing, they fix it, and then they improve it.
Well, it's the MO is more of the refer to as skateboard model. We
Yeah.
release it with a skateboard to
Rapid
eventually
iteration.
to a
Yeah.
car, and the iterations are not every 3 months. It's every week to every 2 weeks. It's continuous updates until it gets to a good, stable production level product that people are able to use. And we've been seeing great success with clients over the last many months already.
So I want to break it down farther because I think people, when they hear AI agents, I've been talking a lot on the show about AI agents just not being there. Like most of the time when someone's saying the word AI, the agent thing, they're just blowing smoke. It's not actually useful. This is one of those few examples, other than like ChatGPT's deep research, this voice AI thing, and all your conversational AI, but particularly the voice, is definitely agentic because you can load it with information. It can have tools available to it, like multiple tools I noticed in there recently. I don't know what to do beyond like calendar booking, and it's smooth. It doesn't even just send you a link. It's like, oh yeah, we have some availability on Thursday afternoon and on Friday morning. Is 10 a.m. on Friday good, or should we look at Thursday afternoon? It actually like conversationally books meetings, which is amazing. If you call the number I gave earlier, you'll find out. But it can do more than that. It can actually like take actions. It can launch automated workflows. It can send text messages. And I'm like, all the tools it has available to it at its disposal, depending on where it feels like the conversation is going. I'm like, this is 100% agent, and it's powerful. It's cool. What else?
Yes.
What else are you seeing people do with it?
So the different actions you can do is a call transfer. Someone says, "Hey, I want to talk to your manager," or "I'm interested in sales," or "I want to purchase." So you define what the criteria is before the call gets transferred. So you build out the prompt saying, "Hey, if the caller is interested in making a purchase or buying, or shows they're interested in buying now, transfer call to specific phone number." So we have a call transfer functionality. And before it gets transferred over, let's say, "Okay, I see you're interested in making a purchase. One moment, please, and I'll transfer you to someone in the sales team." And then it'll do this as a call transfer. So call transfer is one action. The other action is that we can send an SMS real time on the call. So I've seen people who are using it for their restaurant. They kind of do a pre-reservation or pre-ordering bot. They put it in place. I'm here to answer any questions you have before you're ready to place the order. So whenever you're ready to place an order, say, "Hey, I want to talk to a human," and then it'll transfer you over. So they ask, "Okay, how big is your large pizza? What are the top specials of the day?" They can take their time, because when you're talking to a human on the phone at a restaurant, you feel like you're rushed. You got to book it, or the guy's like, "Look, I got to deal with all the other people." So they've been seeing great success on their side of people talking to the AI, asking all the questions, getting the menu items. Or someone says, "Oh, do you have a gluten-free menu, or allergen menu?" Like, "Sure, no problem. I'm gonna SMS you the link right now." And real time on the call, we're gonna send them an SMS with the link for the menu related to gluten allergies, or whatever reasons that you want. Real time to send the SMS. We have trigger a workflow on the call. So workflow, if you know anything about HighLevel, is the most powerful feature in there. You can do anything you want with our workflow.
Yeah. It's like the journey builder, the automation, drag and drop builder. It's where all the automation happens.
Yeah, so you can do whatever you want in that workflow. If you just choose whatever the prompt is, the person says they're interested in joining your mailing list. Perfect. That means on the back end, create a little trigger action, add their email to the workflow, put them into a whole sequence. It's all done. Tag them. Whatever your workflow does, it can be triggered during the call. And as well as you can trigger a webhook. So that's more meant for more advanced users. So on the call itself, I've seen people create, just for proof of concept, they create an appointment or a weather bot. They call in, they want to know, "Hey, what's the weather like in California or in San Francisco?" At that point, it does a call out to the WeatherBot API, and it responds back, and they will tell you, "Oh, the weather is 76 degrees Fahrenheit." It's like in real time. So, but if people want to use this webhook concept a little further, they can post to their point of sale solutions. They can post to any third party applications that need to know about this information based on whatever the outcome of the call is. So there's a lot of
It's
function on the voice product. And one of the other things that people find amazing is voice product. If you sell to a client, they never have to log into their HighLevel account, because after the call is completed, we'll send them an email summary with a transcript of the communication. So now the business owner, can see, "Oh, I got a call," and you see exactly what the conversation was about, and you see what the outcome summary was as well, which is a amazing selling point, because they see in real time what their AI agent is doing for them. Like, what work are they accomplishing? Are they working or not working? You see in real
yeah.
time with those emails.
Yeah. And then I've been getting them because I've been testing the phone number that I just gave a minute ago, and I've been seeing my own conversations come in. It's really handy because I'm like, oh, okay, this is useful, because what if there's a frequently asked question that you didn't account for? Well, you'll find out, and then you'll add it, and it'll start answering that question appropriately. Right? You can actually see what the whole conversation was, and of course, it gives you the summary and the highlights. But then you can switch over to the transcript if you need to. But this is a powerful tool because essentially anybody, for a very low fee, anybody can have essentially a full-fledged what a human receptionist would be doing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what any human receptionist would be doing, except it is working 24/7, 365.
Yeah. So, just on that, we had a client who was in the roofing space, and They would drive leads to the roofing company, and they would use a third party service, an answering service, to receive the inbound inquiry and say, okay, thank
Yeah.
you very much. Someone will get in contact with you. That's all they were doing. Nothing beyond that. Very basic because they don't know anything about your business. They're not trained up.
Yeah.
They just do
Yeah.
very basic name, phone number, email. When should we call you back? That's it. So they got a hold of the voice AI product and they jumped in, feet first right away. In the first week, they converted 5 roofing clients onto voice AI, and they were charging them anywhere from setup fee, I think was $1,000 to $1,500, just a setup, and then per month they were charging $797, right? And the client was super happy. They're excited now.
Yeah.
They don't have to use a third party service.
It's way cheaper.
And it's cheaper, it's predictable, they see everything going on, it's trained up, they can book appointments, they can ask qualifying questions. What type of roof do you have? Is it a slanted roof? Is it this type of roof? Is it an emergency service? Is it this? You can go through a whole qualification with your voice agent, and then if it's an emergency, automatically SMS the owner, okay, we got a hot lead for you right now, call this person right now.
Can it be smart enough? I haven't gone this far with it, but it'd be really cool. Can it, if it's asking qualification questions, can it kind of then do like just basic figuring of like, hey, my next recommendation is going to be this versus this. They're not actually a good fit for the core offer. I'm going to actually recommend that they go on the newsletter. It's like, hey, based on what you know, like most people your size would actually do better with this. Can it make recommendations at the end, even if it's pretty simple?
Yeah, it's all based on the prompt, right? Based on the prompt, you can say, as you're progressing through it, however you set up your prompt, you're asking these questions at a certain point, saying, okay, based on what you've heard so far, assess if they're a fit for this or that. Then ask them if they're a fit for this, ask them these type of questions. If they're a fit for this, ask them these type of questions. So you
Yeah.
would calibrate your prompt in the journey itself. So you're going through a sequence, so you're asking these type of questions, qualify them, then you are pretty much advising the AI agent in the prompt, saying make an assessment of where they fit, and then lead the questions down accordingly.
Interesting. I'll have to experiment with that. It's essentially if you can build it in a custom GPT, you could probably build it in this voice agent. Though I will
100%.
say, setting up this voice agent was a lot easier than a lot of other AI work that I've done. Like you could, it's as simple as really like setting it up. You can hook up databases to them. So you set up a voice agent, dedicate a number to it, and then you can hook it up to different databases. So you can have a database for one product or maybe a database for a different product. I set up a new one just for HighLevel questions and trained on HighLevel website and my AI automationvault.com website. So it can answer questions about that. And so it's hooked up to it. And then I just kind of modified the prompt a little better, especially the leading line. I think mine, if you call in, again, it's 615-610-0721. If you call in, it has like a leading line of like, hey, I'm Dan's AI voice assistant. Would you like to book a complimentary session with Dan to talk about HighLevel? Or is there anything I can answer for you regarding HighLevel? And it's like either it goes right to booking or it starts answering questions. But at the end of every one, I prompted it in such a way to be like, hey, at the end of every question, also remind them like, hey, can I answer more questions or would you like to book a session with Dan? It'd be nice if it could actually like tailor where they're at and actually lead them down different paths, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, it's
But it
it's
wasn't that hard to set up. Like it took me all of 30, 40 minutes this morning. Like it wasn't that hard of a setup. It was pretty simple.
and hopefully it will be even simpler in the coming months as we roll out a lot more templates for you to use. So depending on what industry you're in, you can select which template or which agent you want to install within your account. So if you're in the roofing space, the Cairo space, or accounting space, you choose, you specify, we'll pre-build out your prompt for you. Then we'll pretty much will give you 80% of what you need. Then you need to refine it down to make it your own or customize it for your own case or remove things that don't make sense for your business.
To kind of wrap this up, on our pre-interview, we talked a little bit about where you're going. I'm super excited about where it's at right now. Is there anything you could talk about to like what you're seeing now versus like kind of what you see generally where you see this going in the future?
Yeah, so short term, we're looking at rolling out outbound in the limited capacity. We're also looking at releasing a lot more languages capabilities within the platform. I think we support about 8 languages right now. We want to expand that out to 20, 30, whatever is capable within the infrastructure, because language is a little bit tricky, because anyone understanding the whole flow, it's not just about the language itself. It's taking the voice, turning it into text, taking the text
Yeah.
and running it through AI. AI then responds back. We take that text, converting it back into voice, and then make that voice, you know, turn into spoken voice using the different voices that we're using. So there's a few steps involved. So there's a bit of complexity, and to make sure all this is done within a rapid sequence. No one's gonna sit there, hey, do you have when are you available? And then just sitting there thinking for 8 seconds, and it's like it's ruining the experience.
You
It
missed it.
needs to be
Yeah.
very fast, low latency. So we're improving on that side. We're also, when you're referring to databases, we're, on our end, we call it knowledge bases, or expanding out how many different knowledge bases and what the knowledge base can do. So then with the knowledge base, we can have it structured in a way that if you're running an e-commerce site, you can pull up inventory on the call. Hey, do you have this in stock? It knows how to pull up the information within your knowledge base. Yeah, we have 3 in
Mhm.
stock available right now. So this is, again, short-term improvements. Longer term, where
Come
we're
on,
going is
dynamic knowledge bases. Woo! I don't think
longer
people
term.
realize like how complex that is. Like right now, you can feed it like FAQs. It's static. You like give it the question, the answers. You could train it on websites. There was something else you can put into it. I think spreadsheets were coming soon, but
Spreadsheets
it's
as
none of
well.
it's really dynamic. So you're talking about actually having like dynamic. It can actually check dynamic databases like inventory. That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully I can't answer that question
Eventually,
100%.
it's going to get there. When it's going to get there, who knows? That's the future, though.
But some of the other things I'm working on is, using the voice product itself, connecting to real AI agents within HighLevel. So we are rolling out or building out AI agents for all the various parts within the CRM. So you'll have an agent for funnels, you'll have an agent for your CRM, you'll have an agent for workflows, you'll have an agent for emails. So you can then voice communicate using MCP within the infrastructure, calling the agents. And from there, say, hey, I need to send an email, or I want to create a campaign to send emails to this smart list on this topic. Can you get this set up for me? And the agent will go and take care and build it out for you. Then you have to go in there and just finish it up. Or I want to build a funnel that does this. If you can communicate it to someone and it makes sense, the agent can go and do it because it has the same capabilities. So we're leveraging the voice product that we have and making it easier within your HighLevel account to give actions and execute actions. At the same time, you can query again saying, okay, what are the most popular, which emails should I send, or what's the most popular, X. It gives you a lot more metadata that you want. And then hopefully the not just the voice side, but on the AI side, we want to go from being reactive for the AI to proactive. The
Yes.
AI, when you log into your account, will come and tell you information about things you need to know versus you asking, for example, you need to say, you need to create a blog post, you need to create a social media post, you don't do it, you forget, you move on. But now the agent, when you log in saying, hey, I've created 3 social media posts on the following topics. Here's what it is. Do you want me to publish it? Yes or no? So it's already done the job. Now all you need to do is say, yeah, proceed. Or I created a blog post. We're in the month of November. Here's a blog post for the month of December for Christmas or for Thanksgiving on topic with your brand, something you've done before. It's trained up. Here is a blog post you can go to market with. Again, it's not going to be 100% ready, 80%, 85%. So a lot of times people are like, oh, it's not, doesn't, I can't just publish it right away. I'm like, come on. AI is not going to be replace us in 100%
Yeah.
at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to just temper our expectations saying AI will get you to 80%.
We don't want to go 100% because sometimes it just goes off the rails. It's like it's AI can get weird sometimes. In these systems, like in a controlled system like HighLevel, it probably won't. But like people's chat GPT accounts get weird sometimes. I'm like, you don't really want it to go 100%, not for a while. Like we really do need the controls to keep it from taking actions like sending emails or booking meetings sometimes. But in a really controlled environment, like when they call in and it's got like very clear parameters, it's pretty dang safe.
Yeah,
Uh,
those who don't know much about AI or they're beginners into it, the concept that a lot of people will come to experience in a Unfortunately, sometimes this is when it hallucinates. It starts making
Yep.
up things all of a sudden. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. The hallucination, it all depends on what model you're running under, how much contextual window you have, what do you have in your knowledge base, because your AI is always trying to answer whatever question comes its way. Right or wrong, it's going to answer it. So this is where you got to put all the guardrails in place saying, if you do not have an answer for this question, do not make it up. Just say, I'm sorry, I don't have that information. I'll get back to you. Don't
Yep.
try to make it up. So
Yep.
this is where proactively we would like the agents to inform you, tell you things. If you sent an email the month previous and you generated X number of dollars in revenue, saying you sent an email last month, it did you made $25,000 in revenue. Here's another email I've generated, similar idea that you can send to this smart list. It's going to look at your metadata and give you suggestions versus you having to say, I need to send an email to this list. This is where we want AI to go to become helpful to you to make better decisions.
It's funny what you just mentioned is something Sam Altman has been saying out on the road as he's done interviews. Essentially, like AI will just be proactively telling you, "Hey, it did this and this. Do you want it to do X, Y, and Z next?" That's just kind of the future of where I think a lot of people are seeing AI going now. And I think we'll all have like a co-pilot with like ChatGPT kind of helping us through our personal tasks. It'll be working us through so we can get through faster. But I can almost see like everybody's going to have like a agent that's attached to their CRM because it has to be. Like your business revolves around the relationship management system, the database, the information's the source of truth. Therefore, your CRM will be a main component. And I'm like advocating that HighLevel should be the one. For some people, it's going to be HubSpot. And HubSpot's been making some substantial gains with theirs. I just find that it costs too much. Where HighLevel is the one that I love and been using. I love where you guys are going with it. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I'm so excited about where it's at now, but where it's going in the future.
Awesome. I'm excited as well. It's going to move very fast.
And one last time, if you're still listening, it's 615-610-0721. Call it. You will be amazed at what it can do. Again, not perfect, caveat, but I think you'll be impressed with how far it can go. Ask you questions about HighLevel, book a meeting with me. I'd love to talk to you about how I'm using it, and just test it out. Take it for a drive.